Hi, thanks for tuning in to Atomic-Moto's Product of the Year for 2013 video. Now, a little bit of background on this. We have picked a Product of the Year every year for the last 3 or 4, but this is the first time that we've actually done a video for it, and it is the first time that we've done it in a more formal way for how we nominated and selected products. In the past, it was a little bit more subjective, but past winners have been great stuff also. In 2010, it was the Klim Dakar pant, simply because it was such a better build than anything from the California moto companies at that particular time, and it took a lot of courage for Klim to go to that end of the market and to stick to the guns and try to make a really good product, a really good pair of pants. In 2011, it was the AFX FX-39 helmet, because it did a good job, but at a really, really great price, and was accessible to a lot of people. There wasn't really a very good dual sport helmet that anybody could get at that time, and AFX did a nice job on that one. In 2012, it was going to be the Klim Adventure Rally suit, because they finally had hit the top end of the market, but unfortunately they had some QC problems with that product and canceled it, and so that was not to be. But we have arrived with a better process for picking this year, and we have a winner. What does that process, that nominating process, look like? Well, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the best product, in the most expensive product in the category. It needs to do any one of several things, or any combination of several things. Either has to be jump right to the top of its particular category, or it has to offer great value, or it has to offer great performance at a great value, or change the industry. That's a pretty tall order, but there are certain products out there that do change the industry. For example, the Liat brace several years ago, like it or not, it's made a big shift in the way people look at their protective gear. And so this year we had a more formalized way of picking our product, and we went through that and arrived at a winner. You ready? Okay, the winner for the Atomic-Moto Product of the Year for 2013 is the Alpinestars Toucan Gore-Tex boot. This was a pretty easy choice for us, and we did it because Alpinestars set an example of how to behave in terms of product management and in the industry. And they set an example that we feel that others should look at really hard, a leadership example, and that other companies should look at and follow. A little bit of background on this Toucan. This is a follow-up to a model previous to it that failed. It was called the Alpinestars Durban boot. It retailed for $500. It had kind of funky style and really didn't do that well. In fact, it bombed and died a pretty painful death. Alpinestars didn't conclude that the high end of the market was not viable. What they did is they went back to the drawing board. They made a boot that was much better than the Durban, with a very complicated design, a big investment of R&D. This boot was not cheap to design and develop, and they came back to the market with a much better product, and in fact at a lower price. There is a ton of things in this that scream protection and performance and comfort and quality, and all of those things added together really took Alpinestars from having kind of a so-so product in the adventure touring category and put them at the top, and they leapfrogged over a lot of other gear in there. There's a lot of other stuff that's out there that's pretty good, but frankly, most of the other boots in the adventure touring category are older designs, and they're in need of upgrading. And this is something that's nice and fresh and new and really well executed, and it frankly works really well. And this is the biggest reason why we chose it. There's a huge lack of understanding for people that go out on adventure touring and dual sport riding, put their wheels to dirt, and don't realize that the instant that you do that, the instant that you put your wheels to dirt, you really need a lot more protection in your boot. You need something that has a lot more support in the ankle. You need something that has a lot more stiffness in the shaft. You need something that has a lot more rigidity in the forefoot, and something that has good impact protection all the way around. It doesn't really matter how aggressive of a rider you are. It really matters what type of terrain you're on. And so if you take, a BMW 1200 GS and you're putting along and you wander down a dirt road and it turns into a downgrade and it's kind of rutted and becomes a two-track, you have become an off-road rider, an enduro rider, a dirt bike rider, whether you like it or not. And if you've got a very, very soft street boot on, that's just not going to cut it. However, a lot of people don't want to take this step to a motocross boot. They don't want to take the step to something more protective because you sacrifice so much in comfort. This product is, in a very, very unglamorous way, something that trumps that. These guys have done a great job in making something that's really protective and yet still very, very comfortable. You gain a lot, you sacrifice very, very little, and they put a lot of time and effort into it. And the more you look at this, the more you see that. And their product team and their company really needs to be commended for that. This is a great thing. We're very proud to sell it, and we give our compliments to Alpinestars and their R&D team for this, the product of the year for us for 2013, the Alpinestars Toucan Gore-Tex boot. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com, home of the Bombers. We are mission focused on getting you the right gear for you, your bike, your type of riding, and even in some cases your region, and at your budget. We're very hands-on with product. We like to take it off of the shelf, take it out of the package, give it to our testers, have them go out and use it and understand how it works in the field, and make it so that we can explain that to you. We can give you some good feedback, some good recommendations, so that you make good choices for your riding. We hope to see you out in the field, and thanks for tuning in.